If you ever wonder how complexity starts, follow me for a short introduction. So the first thing, the first condition to create complexity is the fact that there is no one single attractor or force that guides your organization. If there will be one single attractor, usually there is a default space where the organization or the state of the organization exists, and all the rest is noise, very predictable. But once that transition into more than one attractor, something interesting happened. Then the state of the organization start to randomly move between those two attractors. And it could be from 1 to 2, and it could be from 2 to 3, and from 3 to 4, and you got it. As you're adding more attractors, it's harder for organization or it's harder to predict what will be the consequences, because in reality what's happened is, let's say that we have one attractor, which means, hey, all of us needs to produce as much as we can. So this is the default state. We have to produce as much as we can. Now let's say that in some point of time I'm adding, hey, we also need to produce something in high quality. Now we have two attractors. High quality, as much as we can. And what happened that sometime people will go around one of them, and sometimes they will go through the other one, and this creates unpredictability notion. So that's the first condition, the attractors. The second condition is what we call external impact. And external impact are forces outside of the system that are continuously bounced into the system, or materials, by the way, and they call vibration of the system. All the elements in the system will vibrate and might create or will create some temporary structures that will create some unpredictability behavior, because we don't know which structure are going to be created. In nature, it's the sun energy bounced into earth. In organization, it could be competitors or clients. It could be materials like money or commodity. All of those can create continuous shaking of the system. The third condition is what we call stretch and tear. And stretch and tear, it's an interesting concept that it's kind of a centrifugal force. So if I'm taking the attractor and the attractor moves, as the attractor moves faster, is going to create centrifugal force, which means that some element will be attracted to the center, and some element will be thrown away far from the center. Now, when we have two attractors, what happens is that part of the element are attract here, part are pushing away, and then let me use another color. So we have those part are closer to the center, part are far away from the center, and when those far away of the center reach here, they are started to be attracted by the other one, and now you create more unpredictability. Well, it's called stretch and tear because if we start from one line of states, over time it's going to be stretched over like that because element will be thrown away far away. And it's called tear because once we tear, actually the state is going to be tear. So the element that were from the middle here are going actually to start to move that direction, and the element that here are going to keep on that direction. So it's actually tear into two, it's like folding, stretching and folding dough. And as you stretch and fold more dough, you're actually creating unpredictability within the system. So that's a stretch and tear. Now, there are two elements that if they exist, they just make they exaggerate the unpredictability of the system. One of them is fractals. So fractals are simple structure that they are repeating one each other, like in hierarchy. So as you have more fractals, you actually reinforce all of those three forces on many levels in the organization, which actually create much more unpredictability. And last but not least is the concept of nonlinearity. So as there is more nonlinearity in the system, as we have more scenarios where a small change can create huge impact, or the other way around, a very big change will create very minor impact, that's also increase significantly the unpredictability of the system. And that's all, folks. It's pretty straightforward. Those are the forces or the element that if they exist, three of them a must and other two just accelerate it, you will deal with high level of complexity. Now the trick is to find out what are those forces that related to you and how you can take advantage of them in order to better manage the complexity that you are dealing with. Thanks.